Hi everyone, so we're just going to do a quick exam prep webinar. So if you have any questions, please send us a quick message. So the overview then, so we're just going to look at a study plan, setting up multiple choice questionnaires and essay structure. So we won't be looking at open book exams. To get started then, so this might be your first time sitting an in-person exam and it's completely okay to feel nervous. We will be running an exam stress webinar, so please come along to that or have a look at our online resources, so that's Student Central online resources. The exams office will be in contact with you about where you will do your exams, or you can keep an eye on your emails or go to your personalised timetable. So if you go into the exams website, click on exams timetable, and then there's a link from where you can sign into your personalised timetable. If you have any questions after that, do get in contact with them. So it is a similar style to the state exams, so you really just have to turn up on time. So make sure you know where you're going to be doing your exams and then turn up. Don't forget your student card. That's really important. Make sure you bring a number of pens and a bottle of water. And just make sure you have the right time and the right venue for your exam. So a study plan then, so create a timetable, and we have an example in a minute, and put in your deadlines or exam dates, work backwards. So what do you need to study the day before the exam? What do you need to study the week before the exam? Add in your breaks, add in flexi time. So flexi time is, it's up on our website for under time management, but what it is an hour in the evening, say from 6 to 7, where you don't plan what you're going to be doing. You can use it for either finishing off any like study or assignments, or if you're finished before then, you can use it for an extra hour for yourself. And it's really important to be realistic. So you're not going to sit in front of the computer for 12 hours really working. You're going to be more likely to do an hour than take a 5-minute break or half an hour break, whatever it is, doing 2 hours slots. So just be realistic with what you can achieve, and it's personal to each person. So this is an example of a study calendar. So this is, you can see there's the exam start date, the exam's end date, and we put in an example of 2 different types of exams. We have an example of an essay due date, the last day of lectures, and then this being study week. So if you want to, you can take this and download it, and it will be available up on our website, or you can just, this is just going into Word and opening up a table on a document. Another thing then is an exam planner. So put your module and your module codes here, the date and the day that they're on, the venue that you're going to be in, and then the time that they're going to be on. So it's really important that you have those organised, printed out, stick it up in your wall, put on a sticky note, whatever works best for yourself. Let me see if there's a move. And then this is just an example that you can use to create your own exam planner. A study technique then that can be helpful, as we said a couple of minutes ago, it's unlikely you're going to get 12 hours of study done. So use something like the Pomodoro technique. So choose a task you'd like to get done, set the Pomodoro, so that's basically just an alarm. So you could use your phone, you could use a computer, or like what this is, a kitchen timer. Set it for 25 minutes. Work on your task until the alarm rings. When the Pomodoro rings, put a check beside the task. Take a short break, so we would say roughly 5 minutes, and then go back and do another Pomodoro. So after every 4 of them, take a longer break of 20 to 25 minutes. So you can see that's it there. Some people will work differently. You could do work for 40 minutes, take a 10-minute break, or change it up to suit yourself. So what is expected of me then? So it's up to the student to check out what the layout of your exams will be like. So to do this, you should look to your Moodle, look to your module handbook, attend the last few lectures and listening to the lecture. They may give you some info on what the exams are going to be like, and then check past exam papers and see if there are any patterns that are emerging. So what kind of teams come up often, what kind of style do the modules like. MCQs then, so MCQs are slightly different, so it's important to pay attention to the fundamental terms, make lists and tables, concentrate on understanding multi-step processes, natural sequences or groupings. Also really important to look for the similarities and differences between the correct choices, and then highlight vocab or key definitions, and reorganize your material into questions. So revise and be sure you know what the definitions mean. use flashcards, that can be really helpful. And then set challenges for yourself to condense information into 3 sentences. MCQ questions generally aren't more than a sentence or 2, and then you'd have maybe 4 options to choose from. So in the exam, it's really important to follow the instructions that are given. So, and read them really, really carefully. So mark 1 correct or mark all correct answers. Cover up the possible responses and anticipate the correct response before seeing the other options. If you see the response that you anticipated, check to make sure there's none of the other responses that suited better. If you're unsure, skip it and come back. So answer the ones that you do know, and then that gives you extra time for the ones that you're not sure of and you need to think about. So eliminate answers that are obviously incorrect, and then that makes it a bit easier to identify which one you think would suit it best. I'm just going to move this over. So true and false tips and MCQs. So read the statement carefully. If every part of the statement is true, the answer is true. If only one part is false, then the answer is false. Look out for negatives. So for example, it is not the case that. So they can try catch you out with the phrase, and so you might know the answer, but it's just going back and reading that question really carefully. Take care with the comparative statements. So X is more likely when Y than when Z is more likely. So look out for words like always and never. And then essay structuring. So if you have more essay-based exams, it can be helpful just to have a basic structure in mind. So we would always encourage to have a very small intro and conclusion paragraph. And again, listen to what your lecturers are saying. If they have different instructions, follow their instructions. But it can be helpful to have like a sentence or 2 at the start, your basic introduction, and then you would go into the paragraph, so topic, sentence, supporting sentences, and conclusion, and follow that layout, and then a concluding paragraph where you're summing up your argument. If you're getting to, you have 2 essays you need to write and you've given 40 minutes per essay and you're getting towards the end, you can always leave a gap, or you can go back at the end, do your concluding paragraph. It's important to be able to finish out your argument, let them know that you are finished, and you can go back and put a little asterisk in at the point where you want to include another paragraph if you have time at the end. Okay, so more on paragraph structure then. So a handy one to remember is peel. So point, make a point that links to the question. E, explain or expand. Explain your point and make it relevant to the question. E again, examples or evidence. So provide examples to prove your point and argue your case. L for link, so link your topic back to the question and wrap up your paragraph. So then just some study techniques. So look, cover and write. So read your notes, cover them up, try write them out, or even read them aloud for yourself, or jot down the main bullet points. Create mind maps for each subject topic, and use colour or highlighter. Create an essay structure or link similar points. Flashcards are really, really helpful. So test yourself on key definitions and key concepts. Practice exam paper questions. That's really, really helpful. You can do this with and without notes, and it's helpful to find out what you've forgotten to mention, or testing yourself on how you might know the information, but how would you adapt it to suit the question. If you don't know where the exam papers are, they are on the library website. So if you go into a Maynooth University library and then scroll down from the main homepage, there'll be a little box towards the left of the page. So then some extra study techniques. If you're a visual learner, use post-it notes and put them in places that will draw your attention. So on your mirror, for example, and this can help to jog your memory. If you're an auditory learner, recording your notes and listening back might be helpful. So you could use something like read and write or read aloud on Word, use your phone. There's I think voice memos that you can use on most phones as well. And then you can also, what it can be really helpful is watching YouTube clips or listen to podcasts on your topic. I know some departments are recommending good podcasts to listen to. So you could always ask and see if there is something that they would recommend. Okay, do I need to reference? So this is just a question we have been asked. So this is really topic specific. So each module might be slightly different. It would be probably best the most helpful thing might be to link in with your lecturer, to have a look at your lecture slides and see if there's any information available on it. You could also link in with the Academic Writing Centre, who may have resources for referencing for exams. and to keep an eye on your emails as they may be running some sessions around it as well, or possibly the library. But again, that would be the best thing to do, might be to link in with your lecturer and just ask them what they expect of you. And generally they will give you more information on the last lecture of the year, so that's an important one to attend, and it can be a good time to ask some questions. Okay, so upcoming webinars then, so please keep an eye on your emails for more information on our exam prep webinar series. We will be running some over the next couple of weeks. The next one will be focusing on wellness during the exam period, so looking after your self-care, managing exam stress, and then some simple relaxation techniques that you can remember and bring with you even into the exam, in-person exam, and you can do it then and there. And we'll be running a webinar similar to this one again. So yeah, just keep an eye on your emails over the next few weeks. And yeah, that's it for today. So if you do have any questions, you're welcome to reach out. It might not be ourselves that'll be able to answer, but you can always contact your department. Or if you have any lecture, go to your lecturers or the tutors. Good luck with them, and thanks very much.